the cooked beans, I use sandwich bags and just kind of filled it up, not too much. And they're in the freezer, so whenever I need beans, they're just take it out and ready to use. Gonna continue the prepping for a couple of days. Use the food. I'm gonna finish up today with the chile verde enchiladas. I'm using a pre-cooked chicken, which you could get from your grocery stores. I usually get mine from Costco. It's got great flavor. I'm gonna be needing tortillas and cheese, either mozzarella or your favorite kind of cheese. This is the one I use. So for the chicken, I'm gonna shred it, and from there I'm gonna make the enchiladas and also flautas. So we'll have like for 2 days. And using the tostadas, that will be a third meal for another day. So before I shred the chicken, I'm gonna warm up the chili verde, and to give it a little flavor, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of the chicken bouillon. I use this brand. You could use whatever other brand you like. And while that's heating up, I'm gonna shred my chicken. So I took the chicken apart, just the bones. I still need to shred it out. And my green chili is still boiling or getting ready to boil. Okay, chili is nice and warm now and tastes great. The chicken is ready. Now I'm gonna start getting the tortillas, pass them over oil so they'll be easier to roll up. I just added oil to cover the pan, probably 1/8 of an inch. And once it's ready, I'm gonna start doing the tortillas and set them aside. I'm gonna do like 24. That way I'll do a dozen for my chile verde enchiladas, and then another 12 or so for the flautas. The way I taste my oil, see if it's hot enough, I just drop a little piece of tortilla in, and that is a good temperature right now. So I'll just start not really frying them, just turning them once and twice to really just get them to be foldable. So I'll do this to do my tortillas for my chile verde and flautas. And you see how quickly it's just warming them up, just basically getting them back to room temperature. And the oil makes it easier to fold. Since most of my oil is gone, I'm gonna add just a little more and wait till it heats up and finish up with my tortillas. Now I'm gonna start rolling the flautas. Very simple. Just put the tortilla, see which way is real good to fold up. Put as much meat as you want and just roll it up. Try to do it as tight as you can. And then I'm just gonna put a toothpick. I know some people don't like using toothpick, but to me it's easier than using the flour method. Then I'm just gonna set them up on a tray, lay them down. And once I'm done, I'm gonna put them in the freezer to cool down. Then I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and use that for another day. Okay, so finish the flautas. I'm gonna put them in the freezer for a little bit, so that way they'll cool down. And later on, once they take a little while, I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and they'll be ready for another day's meal. And put it in the freezer so that way they don't stick together when I put them in a Ziploc bag. Now I'm gonna start doing the chile verde. I like sometimes, just for me, I make a couple of just cheese, or it's called panela. It's almost like Mexican style cheese, but it's not as salty. Got my cheese ready, the chicken, the sauce, and tortillas. And first I'm gonna put a little bit of chili at the bottom, chile verde. Okay, so that should be enough so that way they don't stick to the bottom. Next, I'm gonna grab a tortilla, dip it in there, in the chili. It might be a little hot, just be careful, see what you could do. So a little bit of chicken. And I'm gonna add cheese also. Just gonna roll them up. And there we go. One is done, and I'm just gonna continue the same process till I finish up this plate or this casserole of. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the chicken ones. Now I'm gonna do for me the cheese, and my sister, she likes these sometimes too. Or we might have 2 chicken and a cheese one. Just do the same process. So you could even do these with, if you just want them, I know even some people with tofu or your favorite meat too, or just all spinach and cheese. Doesn't have to be all meat. And as long as you like your favorite entree, they'll come out delicious. Okay, now I'm done with them. What I'm gonna do with some of the salsa chile verde, I'm just gonna pour some over so that way they won't be so dried up. Cover the edges, which is the one that gets a little more eat up. And that's why we also do the tortillas in oil, so it doesn't soak up so much of the sauce, and it's a good flavor, better than just warm tortillas. So that should be enough. I'm gonna leave what's left over. So whenever we're serving, we could just warm it up a little bit and use it more. Now to finalize it, cheese on the top again. Okay. So now just cover it with foil. Gonna cover it with foil. And I'm gonna put them to cook in my little mini oven. Since right now here in Fresno it's 102. I don't want a lot of heat in the house. So just gonna put it in there and cook it like a regular oven temperature, 350 for 25 minutes or so. Since everything is cooked, we're just making sure everything combines together. This is the salsa leftover, so we could top it. And as you can see, I still have a lot of chicken with, later on I might do chicken salad, which only my sister and me like. But with 1 chicken, we're making 3 dishes. Pretty cheap, huh? Since I have rice from yesterday, we save it, since most of the time, cook rice, so that way it'll be ready whenever we do, like with the chile verde enchiladas or with flautas. In any item, I always try to make sure we have some rice and the beans, of course, so that way we don't have to be cooking every day those items. Okay, our enchiladas are done, and I already warmed up some rice. So now and I'm just gonna add a little more of the salsa verde. Cover on the corners. Sometimes I do like those crunchy corners, but today I'm feeling like a little more chili. And here it is. This is the ones that are only cheese, but as you can see, the inside and the outside is very delicious.